President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a phone call with the Jordanian King Abdullah II. During the phone call, President al-Sisi expressed the appreciation for the development witnessed by the Egyptian-Jordanian bilateral ties. Presidential spokesperson Bassam Radi said that the phone call comes in the framework of the regular consultation between the two leaders. The spokesperson added that President al-Sisi and Jordan's king exchanged visions on the regional and the international issues of mutual concern. For his part, the Jordanian monarch hailed the Egyptian-Jordanian bilateral relations, stressing his keenness to boost them on all domains. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has returned home after a busy multi-day visit to the United States, during which he participated in the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit. The details.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi returned back home after participating in the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit in Washington. Presidential spokesperson Ambassador Bassam Radi said President al-Sisi's visit to Washington comes in the framework of the strong and extended ties binding Egypt and the United States based on common interests and mutual respect. Radi noted the visit also reflects Egypt's keen interest in enhancing the joint African action. In his word before the summit, President al-Sisi tackled files related to the African continent in the face of the current international challenges. In addition, on the sidelines of the visit, the President held a string of meetings with U.S. President Joe Biden as well as a number of senior American officials, including the President of the World Bank, David Malpass, as well as the Libyan Presidential Council head, Mohammed El-Manfi. In his meeting with Malpass, the President stressed the importance of continuing coordination with the World Bank as part of Egypt's keen interest to enhance bilateral cooperation and fruitful partnership amid the successive global crises and their repercussions on all economies, particularly in emerging economies. Earlier, President al-Sisi praised the Egyptian community in the U.S., stressing Egypt's leadership and government always working to support Egyptians inside and outside the country, which they will set no spare effort to serve the great people.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli witnessed the inauguration of the Digital Industrialization Center at the Arab Organization for Industrialization, the AOI. The Prime Minister inspected the Digital Manufacturing Center at the Engines Factory and watched a documentary about the stages of establishing the center. The details.
Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli witnessed on Saturday the inauguration of a digital manufacturing center in Hilwan Engine Factory of the Arab Organization for Industrialization. In statement after the inauguration, Dr. Madbouli said that this center targets localizing the national industry. Madbouli said that the new plant includes the cutting-edge technologies for manufacturing water pumps needed in desalination and sewage plants. He added that we need around 2,500 to 3,000 water pumps annually as part of the Giant Decent Life initiative, noting that the new plant is expected to meet the country's need of these pumps, which are used to be imported previously, thus posing more pressure on the country's savings of foreign currencies. He also said that it is very necessary for us to be almost completely self-reliant on manufacturing, maintaining and renewing our equipment so that we can keep pace with the accelerated development process that the state is moving through. The Prime Minister was briefed on the production of the factory in the fields of filtering water, water stations and plain sector. Board chairman of the factory, Gamal Ramadan, said that the center will localize and deepen the local manufacturing of equipments of water pumps to use them in decent life projects. He added that the main aim of the factory is to fix the engine and use its productive and technological capacity to serve the national and developmental projects. Ramadan added that the factory is working on producing brakes and railway equipments in addition to the spare parts of major factories and companies to contribute to the work of factories and support the national economy. Meanwhile, chairman of the AOI, Mukhtar Abdul Latif, said that the center will contribute to increasing the production of sanitation pumps instead of importing them. He added that the center is the outcome of the efforts and continuous partnership between the AOI and the housing minister in cooperation with major international companies to localize the industry of all kinds of pumps. He affirmed that there are directives from the political leadership to localize the industry of pumps in Egypt. Abdul Latif added that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is continuously following up the efforts of the AOI.
Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry received a phone call from the Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov. The call dealt with means of enhancing bilateral relations in various fields and the course of implementing the economic projects undertaken by Russia in Egypt. The ministers discussed a number of developments on the regional and the international levels. In this regard, Foreign Minister Shoukry was keen to review the Egyptian stance towards various developments in the Middle East. Shoukry also informed the Russian minister of the results of the contacts that Egypt is conducting to achieve stability and peace in the region. The Ministry of Interior continued the efforts to combat all the crimes, especially in the fields of supply, traffic, electricity, monuments, intellectual property, public funds, and the taxes nationwide. During the previous week, security forces spotted 22 cases of the commercial fraud, where more than 5,000 gas cylinders were sold on the black market. 18 cases of oil products were also spotted, with a total amount of 1,700,000 liters, which were there on their way from the black market. An amount of more than 14 tons of rice were sold at the overprices. Security forces succeeded in spotting 2,662 cases in the field of tourism and monuments. Minister of Environment attended the UN Biodiversity Conference chaired by China as a turning point in the joint efforts to reach the applicable goals within the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework.